The world of artificial intelligence can feel like this huge, intimidating thing full of jargon and complexity. But what if I told you it's not? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and get right to the core. We're going to break down the handful of ideas that actually power everything else.
Think about it. What is the real difference between just cramming for a test and actually getting it? That feeling where you can look at a problem in the real world and go, I see how AI could help here.
Well, that's the secret. It's not about memorizing a million different terms. It really just boils down to a few fundamental concepts. And once you get these, I promise, everything else just starts to click into place. So let's get to it.
All right, so first things first. Before we even touch the how, we've got to talk about the what. Like, what problems is AI actually trying to solve out there in the real world?
Let's start with an example we've all seen. A company puts a chatbot on its website. We've all used one, right? But why? What's the actual goal they're trying to achieve with that?
Well, most of the time, it's about one thing: efficiency. The bot is there to handle the simple, repetitive stuff. What are your store hours, or can I track my package? This frees up the human customer service agents to deal with the really tricky problems, the ones that need a human touch.
And this kind of reveals a huge idea. AI isn't just one thing. It's more like a toolbox with different tools for different jobs. Trying to spot credit card fraud? You're going to use a tool called Anomaly detection. One to figure out if your customer reviews are positive or negative? That's a job for natural language processing. They're all specialized tools for specific tasks.
Okay, so we know what AI can do. Now, to actually start building, we need to speak the language. And the good news is, the core vocabulary is way simpler than you might think. First word you need to know, feature. Honestly, the easiest way to think about a feature is as an ingredient in a recipe. It's a piece of information you already have to start with. It's your flour, your sugar, your egg. It's an input.
And if the features are your ingredients, then the label is the final dish. It's the thing you're trying to create, the thing you're trying to predict. It's the answer you're looking for, the cake you're hoping to end up with. It's the output.
Let's make this super concrete with a taxi fare. The distance of the trip, well, that's something you already know, right? That's your input, your feature. The final cost of the ride, that's what you want to predict. That's your output, your label. See? It's that simple. Features are what you know. The label is what you want to figure out.
All right, so we've got our ingredients, our features, and labels. Now we need to pick the right recipe, or maybe the right kitchen appliance, to turn those inputs into the output we want. In the AI world, we call these models.
So, let's say your goal is to predict an actual specific number. Not a category, not a yes or no, but a number. Like, what's the future price of a house, or how many products will we sell next quarter?
For that kind of job, the tool you're looking for is called regression. Anytime your goal is to predict a numerical value on a scale, a price, a temperature, a sales total, that is a classic job for a regression model.
Okay, but what if you don't need a specific number? What if you just need to sort something into a bucket? Is this email spam or not spam? Will this person repay their loan? Yes or no?
That is where classification comes into play. You're not predicting a value, you're choosing a category. Is this a picture of a cat or a dog? Will this loan be approved or denied? You're just classifying it.
Now for something a little different. What happens when you don't have a label? You're not trying to predict a known answer. Instead, you just have a big pile of data, and you want to see if there are any natural groups or patterns hiding inside it.
This is a perfect job for clustering. It's a tool for discovery. It helps you find hidden structures in your data you didn't even know were there. For example, a business could use it to find totally new segments of customers based on how they shop.
Okay, we've talked about the what, we've covered the key vocabulary, and we've looked at the main tools. But there's one last piece to this puzzle, and you know what? It might just be the most important part. It's about how we build this stuff responsibly.
A really great way to think about this comes from Microsoft's framework for responsible AI. And they've boiled it all down to just six core principles that should guide every single thing we build.
And these 6 principles are basically the questions we should always be asking. Is our AI system fair? Is it reliable and safe? Does it protect people's privacy? Is it inclusive of everyone? Can we explain how it makes decisions? Is it transparent? And finally, who is accountable when things go wrong?
Let's just zoom in on transparency for a second. Think about this quote.
If an AI system is going to decide whether or not you get a loan, you deserve to know why. We can't just have these black boxes making huge decisions about people's lives. We have to be able to explain the logic. That's how you build trust.
So, when you get right down to it, the core ideas, features, labels, regression, classification, they aren't all that complicated. They're just simple building blocks. The hard part, and the part that really matters, is the choices we make when we put them together. The data we use, the problems we decide to solve, and the principles we stick to. So the question really isn't about the technology anymore. It's about us. What would you build?